on FSDBeta 10.8. It is 2 months after I first got access to the FSDBeta, which was October 29th of 2021, and now it's December 26th of 2021. And I'm delighted to have received the code, the software. This has been the biggest code upgrade in the 3 years since I've owned the car. So 3 years and 3 days ago, I got this car, and I'm at about 52,000 miles. 2018 Model 3, long range. So let's get started and right into driving. What I'm really excited about is this one, waypoints. And I did some experimentation tonight. There's a whole lot in this upgrade, but waypoints in particular let me lay out the whole route. I'm on spot 1, so I'm navigating to spot 2, 3, 4, etc. around town to exactly replicate the route I took back on October 29, 2021. Let's get started. Putting the car in drive. It's going to turn off the interior lights, but it's also going to turn on the little gray steering wheel here, which will let me engage FSDBeta. Now the interior light stayed on. That's good. I want you to be able to see my steering wheel. Soon we should see the gray light. There it is. And now we can do this. Make a full screen visualization. Car's creeping forward, waiting for it to be safe to go. Creep, creep, creep. And here it goes. You should be able to see my brake pedals too. I have the camera set up. Okay, did a very nice job there. Nothing to be even slightly nervous about versus 2 months ago. So the software's come a long way, but 10.8 is in particularly interesting to me because it should be a pretty good leap forward from the 10.5 I was on previously. So we'll have a look. I'll also mention, here we go. You're going to see my hands on the wheel, right? I have to keep some pressure on the wheel here and there. I have to keep my eyes on the road. The car has an interior camera looking at my position. And you'll see automatic high beams were automatically engaged once I engaged FSDBeta. You know, autopilot mode with double tapping the stalk. So for me to intervene, the most comfortable thing I found for my passengers, my wife, would be to tap up on the right hand stalk. That way there's no slowdown or anything associated with tapping the brake pedal. But tapping the brake pedal is the right thing to do if you have a rapid kind of emergency situation with some sort of concern over safety. You always want to hit the brake pedal. All automatic, everything stops at that point. Alright, here we come up a steep hill with limited visibility, so the car is appropriately slowing down. Turn on the blinker and then decided not to. Creeping up at a ridiculously slow 10 miles an hour, so be a little weird if someone's behind me. Late at night on a Sunday, this won't be a problem. And it creeps through at 2 miles an hour. Not ideal. I'd rather see it go to 0. I'm on chill mode, by the way. And you can see I have these side view cameras now show up, looking at my blind spot whenever my blinker's on. New feature. Okay, blue pulsing across the whole screen. Wow, that really gets my attention. That means I hadn't jiggled the steering wheel in a while. Okay, I don't like this. I'm blinding the guy ahead of me with my high beams, so I flick the left stalk away to turn off the high beams. Here we come in a turn. So what I have to do is edit the waypoints and delete the waypoint I'm arriving at. Because earlier tonight I tried without doing that and it didn't go so well. The car stops, it doesn't continue on the route, it does weird things. So I'm happy that waypoints are there to make replicating a route like this easier. But the functionality, the way I have to use it while I'm on the road is not ideal at this moment in time. I'm just so glad waypoints are finally here though. For long road trips with family, that'd be just such a blessing. You have multiple stops and you want to know if you're going to arrive at the 3rd or 4th stop with a decent enough battery life. Waypoints are your friend. Alright, good turn. A little sharp at the end there, kind of hesitated and then had to dive a little deeper, but pretty good. Felt like a, I don't know, B- turn to me. Not quite human, a little robotic. Okay, steering around that pile of leaves, very nice. I think some of these same piles were there 2 months ago when I first did this drive. Kind of funny. Alright, we're coming up in that stop. So what we want to do is edit the route and delete that one and continue. Hopefully this is going to work. There, I tapped the accelerator, right blinker went on. Yes, it is working. Since we have numerous turns, I'm going to leave the visualization small for now because I want to make sure I stay on track. The driving's going well. Crazy slow, but it stopped right on the line. Nice tight turn. It's good. Still don't have north up figured out. Not so good. My north up button, or my straight ahead up button seems to have gone away sometimes today. All right, a little bit sloppy there. Kind of went past center line a little bit, but there is no yellow paint, so certainly forgivable. Okay, now we've got another edit situation going on, so we're about to reach a destination. So this gets a little weird. Edit trip, delete that, hit done, tap the accelerator, and onward we go. Nice. Car's not complaining that my eyes are not on the road, because I'm always glancing down to do those operations there. Dead end, so we have to turn right. Good. Okay, now I got a moment to edit, delete, continue. Rerouted. Nope, we're good. Okay, that was a fail. Not really failed, just an error. Briefly pointing to the right and then back to the left. Can't think of a good reason for that. So I can go ahead and report that to Tesla, I guess. More a routing thing, not so much an FSDBeta thing. Okay, now we're in good shape to cross town and give you a nice full visual. Okay, super steep hill. Probably like 10%. Crept forward. Nothing going on. My foot hovering over the brake the entire time. Proceeding. So you can probably tell I'm a lot more calm, a lot more confident, because the software's gotten better in the last 2 months, and it makes it a lot less stressful driving. But these are pretty easy roads, let's be honest. This is not the famous city, and I did some city driving in Hartford. And I actually published a video about that. It was morning rush hour too, so that's a different world. This stuff though, I'm looking at the subtleties, how smooth it is. Would a human in the passenger seat notice the difference between me driving and it, doing turns and stop signs and so forth? So that's what I'm getting from the seat of the pants feel of a drive like this. Alright, getting to the left appropriately. Car went past the yellow line. My car didn't freak out about it because it was way up ahead. Stopping at the white line, proceeding at 2 miles an hour rather than 0 for the stop, but nicely done. Very smooth in the wheel. You saw it sliding through my hands. You probably heard it sliding through my hands in a nice smooth fashion. Here's where I need to torque the wheel a little bit asymmetrically to make sure it knows I'm alert, so I don't get the blue pulsing. But again, it's driving. When you see the blue circle there, the car is driving, accelerating, braking, turning. So no disengagements. Just that awkward thing where on side streets I was able to, since no one following me, I was able to safely delete my waypoints as I went, right? I might not be so lucky ahead. We'll see. Okay, a little tiny slowdown there. Don't know if the brake lights went on. Only 1 mile an hour lost. But my passenger might kind of wonder why was it slowing there. I'm wondering the same. No idea what autopilot thinks it saw. But nowhere near phantom braking category of losing like 10 miles an hour or more suddenly on a highway. That's a different thing. This is just little tweaks. Just did it again. I lost 2 miles an hour that time. Don't think my brake lights went on. I can review the footage and look to see if the brake lights cast light on the road behind me. Hopefully you can see that well enough at night. Alright, coming up on a crest of a hill light. Very smooth. We should be seeing regen all the way to 0 miles an hour with the new feature of regen to 0. And the light turned green, so never mind. We'll have to check it out some other intersection or stop sign. So yeah, new feature. Should get very tiny bit better battery life. It used to be the brake pedal was used for the last 5 miles an hour, which used the brake caliper and get rust off the disc and so forth. Now you could do one pedal driving and supposedly regen's used all the way down to 0. That could be interesting. I mean, the brake calipers might not get used for many miles if you really pay attention and do very mellow driving all the time. Okay, nice job keeping centered. Very nice job stopping at the white line. I don't see white lines rendered here anymore, so it's a little bit odd. Not sure why they did away with that. I see crosswalk rendered as a fuzzy thing. But yeah, they got away from higher fidelity crosswalk renderings and just kind of went with a gray line now. And it feels like they did away with the stop line entirely. Weird. Okay. No paint at all visible. There we go. Kept right in the center. Now it's veer to the left slightly. And it did a fantastic job of traversing that intersection. No crazy jerks to the right or what. I think that's something I had on that first night of driving. To go back and look at the footage. Yeah, I would do 0 miles an hour for a train stop like that. That was a little surprising. Alright, we're entering Old Wethersfield now, a historic part of town with lots of Christmas lights the day after Christmas. Get a little scenery. I wish the GoPro Hero 10 was a little more sensitive for nighttime video at 4K 60 frames a second like this. A little grainy, sorry about that. Again, I'm trying to replicate that first drive though. So I'm intentionally doing this at night with a few cars around. Lots of lights. Very nice. If we can get a little tired hovering over the brake pedal like this without touching it at all. Very nice. Kind of slow through the intersection and then a little faster afterward. Make it smooth out the G-forces there and make it smooth throughout. Very minor comment. Okay. Coming up at a waypoint. Nobody behind me. Great. Edit. Delete that. Hit done. Hit the accelerator. Car's behind me and the car's going. So far it's working. Hit the accelerator a little further. My blinker didn't go on, so I don't know what's going on here. But we are proceeding now. Great. That was a little clumsy, but a car did come up behind me, so I did the right thing. He was way behind me, it was not an issue. Okay, next. Looks like we're doing well getting to that waypoint. Let's get ready. Add the trip. After the turn, I'm going to delete that waypoint 6. Blinker went on. Great. Waypoint 6 deleted. Done. Hit accelerator, indicating to the car I'm ready to proceed. It did. Beautiful. Okay, parked car. We need to veer a little bit more. Actually touched the white, the yellow, and that's fine. Did a fine job there. Okay. Okay, soon our car is going to veer slightly to the right. Go on a small secondary road there with lots of rain puddles. It's probably going to want to drive through, and I'll probably drive around them manually, just like I did 2 months ago. Here it comes. Should do a blinker. So I'm turning onto a secondary road. It did. Okay, it's on the wrong side of the road. Forgivable, it's a tiny road, but still, it was pretty sloppy. And now I need to edit anyway. Edit trip, delete, done, drive around puddle. Car is still doing the speed. Okay, re-engage autopilot. Alright, I'm getting better at that. It'd be a little tight if someone was trying to come the other way though. But my car would handle it. Now it's got a creep to see. This is a tough intersection, 45 degrees. Okay, there's a car coming now. Whoa. Felt a little like I wanted to follow those parked cars momentarily, but it's no big deal. Very slow speed. And the car that was coming to my right did not have to slow down, so it was appropriate for us to proceed. Smoothly got into the right-hand lane. Blinker should go on soon. High beams turned off. All good. Okay. It's creeping. Now there's cars there, so it's like I'm at a red light. Probably won't bother creeping much. Now it's creeping more aggressively, and it's going. we're fine because there's another car in the other lane, but I would have waited further. And now this guy is like cutting me off. Jeez. So yeah, he's not happy that I pulled out anyway, but he didn't bother using blinkers, so that's just how he drives. So my car's decided to pass him. A little Tesla road rage. Oh, come on. It did not need to pass, but it's not road rage. I did this earlier and I did the same move, changing lanes unnecessarily like that. Had nothing to do with the other car being there. Still a little weird. I'm going to report that. An unneeded lane change. Plus that car cutting in front of us, we could have backed off a lot and given ourselves a lot more room. It wasn't a big deal. It was low speed stuff and I could easily hit the brake if you did something like brake checked or something, but it's fine. Okay, we're coming up to near the end of the ride. What would I give this trip? I'd give it a solid B. Let's see, I went around some puddles, so that was an intervention if you want to call it that, because there is no pothole or puddle detection. They're very deep puddles, so there could be a 1-foot pothole for all I know in it, right? So I would be driving around those regardless. Were there any car situations? Well, that last one was about it. Slightly elevated risk as the guy cut me off. I would have backed off a little further. I could have reached for the right steering wheel control and lowered my speed manually without hitting the brakes. So kind of a suggestion or an adjustment to the autopilot rather than full disengagement like braking or having the stock would do. But I didn't. In hindsight, I probably should. I'll review the footage and see if I can do better next time. And that's what I always do. That's part of the value of this footage. It's not so much for just for the YouTube, but for me to improve for the next time. The rest of this drive is just straight. There's nothing else to replicate here, so I'll probably wrap this up shortly. What else did I learn? Well, the full screen visual, so I should probably leave you with that. More fun for you to watch on YouTube. Not as fun for me as a driver if I'm trying to figure out if it's going to do the next upcoming turn correctly. But up here, it does tell me what's happening. You know, right turn ahead or left turn ahead, in this case, ending my route in 0.8 miles, right? So I'll get used to that, and I'll just leave it at full screen rendering like this for you. I think that's a better approach for the videos. It'll a whole lot easier for you to see what's going on and what the car's doing, and maybe you can even spot if the car is hitting its brakes. I'm hoping in night mode you can actually see the light that the taillights cast on the road behind it on screen. I'm also hoping that things like a car tailgating me would show. They don't, unfortunately. The car is fairly close behind me and it doesn't show here, so I really was hoping Tesla would do a better job of giving me more awareness of what's going on behind me, and it's not. There's a car behind me and it doesn't even bother to render it. When you come slow at a stoplight, you do get a view behind you, but not when you're cruising along at 37 miles an hour apparently, so that's an area for improvement for sure, rather than having my eyeballs always, you know, checking the rear side view and rear view mirrors like I do for awareness. Kind of wish it did that for me using that rear camera. Alright, so I'm about to need to disengage so that I don't slow down at all and confuse anyone else on why I'm slowing. So right after this intersection, I'm going to do that. And wish you good night. Ask you to consider leaving a comment is great. Thumbs up is great. Subscribing even better. There's also a link to the articles associated with this video. Consider checking that out as well at TinkerTry'd.com. Thank you again for watching.